Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Welcome back, Guam and Hafaday once again. Of course, this is Healthy Living, and Dr. Jitka Lom from ExpressCare is here. And Dr. Lom, we are talking about something, admittedly tonight, I am completely in the dark about. The topic is foot ulcers. I have never heard of that before, so please educate our community and myself, because I'm absolutely ignorant to this topic.
Well, foot ulcers are typically something that diabetics deal with quite commonly anywhere, and especially here on Guam. Over a diabetic person's lifetime, they have about a 25% chance of getting a foot ulcer. As you may know, over time, people with diabetes tend to develop numbness and tingling in their feet. They don't have this sensation that they used to have. And so small injuries can cause big problems, meaning just a small abrasion, a blister on the foot, a bite. These things can cause infection and ulceration. Ulcer means like a scooped, almost like a hole in the skin. And then the depth of that determines what happens with the foot.
Well, part of the diabetic process is also having a reduction in your healing ability too.
That is exactly right, yeah. So on top of that, you don't feel things as well, you get injured, and then you heal very slowly.
Now, is this only a condition that the diabetic community experiences, or can people without diabetes also get this?
Yeah, other people can get foot ulcers, people with what's called peripheral neuropathy, meaning people that have impaired sensation or impaired nerve function in their lower extremities. An example would be somebody who has smoked a lot over the years and has poor circulation, basically, because of the smoking. Yeah.
And one of the things, and you've educated on us about this, is if you are a diabetic, you know, any physician tells you check your feet multiple times a day constantly to see if you've got any, like a little nick or a cut or something like that, and treat it immediately. Treat
it immediately, and be very careful when you're clipping your toenails also.
Okay, so as far as foot ulcers go, if someone should have them, what are the symptoms, you know, because, you know, it deals with an area where you said, you know, there's reduced sensation now. Yeah. Is it painful? Is there a shocking feeling? Does it pulse?
No, oftentimes people feel nothing. See, that's the thing. So that's why you have to look at your feet. The ulcer can be just as, they're graded. There's a staging and a grading classification. So we have ulcers that are just superficial, like more like just a little abrasion, then that are deeper, that go through the skin all the way into the muscle and into the tendons and all the way into the bone and infect the bone, and those are really horrendous infections. The whole goal here is to prevent amputation, and unfortunately on Guam we have way too many amputations. So what you want to do is, if you have even the smallest little problem, you start washing your feet, cleaning it with soap and water, not peroxide because that kills healing tissue, just warm water and soap, washing the wound, getting yourself to a doctor so it can be swabbed and hopefully treated with antibiotics if it's infected. And one of the very, very important things for foot ulcers is to offload that area, meaning if it's on your heel, do not walk on your heel, because then it cannot heal. it cannot
some wordplay here.
Yeah.
now I would assume, because of the nature of these foot ulcers in people with diabetes, was it 9 times out of 10 they're on the bottom of the foot? Can people also get them on the top of the foot? For people with like plantar fasciitis? Or?
Well, they can get it on the top of their foot depending on, again, your footwear. So let's say you tie up your shoes too tight and you're not feeling it, and then you're running shoes and you're walking around, you get a little sand in there or whatever, and the top of your foot gets abraded, or an ingrown toenail. Lots and lots of small things can cause this problem. So when you're choosing shoes as a diabetic, buy them at the end of the day. Buy maybe a size bigger or wear a double sock. One thing I see a lot is diabetic people wearing Zoris, walking around in just really flip-flops, and that's really not a good idea because you're going to injure your foot. So try to wear a more supportive shoe.
I was going to say, because my father is diabetic, and the people at the hospital have been really wonderful, and they've actually given him like the hospital, like the socks, like with the little it's like resistive, or like friction stuff in the bottom, so you can have grip on the floors.
Yes.
But you basically wear that a lot, and you protect your feet. You keep them nice, and you keep them warm, but not too warm, nice and cool at the same time.
That's a great idea. They're like a
and they're super cheap.
Yeah, a sock with a tread. So
exactly.
At home, you're walking around in socks, protecting your feet. You're not going to slip. That's a fabulous idea. But other ideas would be Crocs. They're giving you a little bit more support. They still have a lot of airflow, which is good because diabetic people will also tend to get fungal infections. So something that is going to allow your foot to breathe, change your socks out, and just like Jason's saying, check your feet at least once a day, if not a couple more times.
Now, if people do have diabetes and they do have to take extra special care of their feet,
Yep.
what do you recommend as far as the washing of the feet and how often? And you said don't use peroxide, but maybe are there special types of soap, or can you even use
That dial.
and it was warm versus cold water? Does
Yeah.
that make a difference?
Well, you should wash your feet with warm water, but not hot. Again, you wouldn't feel if you were burning your feet. So warm water with soap is a good idea. Why warm water? Because cold water is not going to melt the oils that you have on your skin as well, and as warm water. Basically, warm water will melt the oils that have a little bacteria and a little bit of dirt, and you'll get cleaner with that. It doesn't have to be boiling, just a little lukewarm water. And you can use a soft brush, even an old toothbrush, to clean around your toes and under the toenails.
All right. Well, we do have some more questions that we want to get to, so you're going to be here at the flip side of the break?
Sure.
All right. Well, we will see you at the flip side of this break, so please stay tuned.